You take a multivitamin, or you don't, and either way, you've probably never stopped to think about what's actually inside that pill. Some of these vitamins build the exact image forming in your eyes this second. One is the base compound behind the most widely used rat poison on the planet. One your body manufactures in a place it can never actually reach. Let's go through every single one, what it does, what happens when it's missing, and the stories almost nobody tells about them. Let's start with vitamin A. This is the vision vitamin, the skin vitamin, the one your immune system leans on more than you'd think. It's also essential for reproduction and for keeping your mucous membranes, the linings in your nose, lungs, and gut resistant to infection. If you're low on it, the first thing you notice is your night vision getting worse. The road just feels darker than it should. Like someone quietly dimmed the world one notch at a time. Your skin dries out, wounds take longer to close, small infections start lingering. Push it further, and you get full night blindness, and eventually a condition called xerophthalmia, where the surface of the eye dries out enough to scar permanently. It remains one of the leading causes of preventable childhood blindness in parts of the world, with limited access to vitamin A-rich food. But here's the part almost nobody explains properly. Inside your eye, vitamin A exists in a form called retinol, tucked inside a protein called rhodopsin. When a single photon of light hits it, that molecule physically bends. In femtoseconds, a slice of time so small it barely has an intuitive name. That bend is the signal. A molecule folding in on itself is the literal first frame of everything you have ever seen. Liver is the strongest source. Carrots, sweet potatoes, and dark leafy greens give you beta-carotene, which converts less efficiently but works, and your body actually regulates that conversion so eating too many carrots can't overdose you the way pills can. Keep that folding molecule in mind. We're coming back to it, and it's not going to be good news. Vitamin B1, thiamine, turns whatever you eat into energy your cells can spend. Run low and you get fatigue that doesn't lift with sleep. Tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, sometimes irritability or trouble concentrating that people never connect to their diet. Heavy alcohol use is the biggest risk factor because alcohol blocks absorption directly in the gut and burns through what little reserve you have stored. Here's the detail doctors know that almost nobody else does. If a severely thiamine deficient patient shows up dehydrated and you give them IV glucose before thiamine, you can trigger sudden, severe brain damage because metabolizing that sugar consumes whatever B1 reserves were left all at once. So thiamine goes in first, or alongside, never after a tiny sequencing decision in a syringe, and a functioning brain depends on it. Whole grains, pork, sunflower seeds, and legumes cover it easily, and it's part of why white rice and refined flour are fortified with it in many countries, following historical epidemics of thiamine deficiency in populations relying heavily on polished rice. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, handles breaking down fats, medications, and hormones, and also helps convert other B vitamins into their active forms. The tells are specific cracks at the corners of the mouth, an inflamed tongue, eyes sensitive to light, skin irritation around the nose. Eggs, dairy, lean meat, and almonds fix it fast. And riboflavin itself is bright yellow, which is why a B-complex supplement can turn your urine noticeably fluorescent within an hour. Vitamin B3, niacin, is what your mitochondria use to make ATP, the currency your body spends on everything it does, from blinking to keeping your heart beating. Run low and fat metabolism slows, cholesterol climbs, and mood symptoms can follow irritability. Low mood, in severe cases, something that looks a lot like depression. But the best niacin story is about corn, and about what happens when you take an ingredient without the knowledge that comes with it. Corn contains niacin, but it's chemically bound and your gut can't unlock it. Mesoamerican cultures figured this out 3,000 years ago. Soak the corn in an alkaline solution nixtamalization and the niacin becomes usable and the amino acid profile improves too. Europe took the crop and left the technique behind. The result was pellagra epidemics rolling through Europe, and hundreds of thousands of cases by the time of the Great Depression, concentrated among communities whose diet leaned almost entirely on untreated corn. A 3,000-year-old cooking method turned out to be worth more than the ingredient itself. Pellagra shows up as 3D's dermatitis. Diarrhea, dementia, and even mild deficiency leave skin unusually sensitive to sunlight. Chicken, tuna, turkey, and mushrooms keep you covered without any of this. Vitamin B5 is in nearly everything. Its name literally comes from the Greek word for everywhere, so true deficiency is rare, but it quietly runs cortisol regulation and cholesterol synthesis. If stress management or memory feels off, it's worth a look, even though it rarely gets the spotlight flashier vitamins do. It also speeds up wound healing and skin cell renewal, which is why it shows up in skincare formulas under the name panthenol. Vitamin B6 runs over 100 enzymatic reactions and helps build serotonin and dopamine, touching your mood directly, not metaphorically but chemically, at the level of which neurotransmitter your brain actually has available. Deficiency causes cracked lips, an inflamed tongue, a weaker immune system, often more anxiety or low mood than usual. Now, the twist that matters later. Most people assume water-soluble vitamins are safe because you just pee out the excess. B6 breaks that rule. In 1983, the New England Journal of Medicine documented 7 adults who developed severe nerve damage from high-dose B6-4, permanently disabled, the cruelest symptom, losing the ability to sense where your own feet were while still being able to move them, purely from nerve damage caused by megadosing something marketed as harmless. And both too little and too much, B6 cause the exact same nerve damage through the exact same nerves. Keep that in mind. Vitamin E does the same trick later. Vitamin B7, biotin the hair, skin, and nails. Vitamin everyone knows from supplement ads. Here's what most people don't know. High-dose biotin can throw off lab tests, including troponin, the biomarker doctors use to check for a heart attack. If biotin makes a troponin reading come back falsely normal, a patient in real danger can get sent home. The FDA has linked at least one death to this kind of interference. Some hair and nail supplements pack in hundreds of times the recommended dose, sometimes over 5,000 micrograms against a recommended 30. The same interference can also throw off thyroid test results, sending someone down an unnecessary diagnostic path over a perfectly healthy thyroid. If you take one of these and you're getting blood work done, mention it. It can change the diagnosis. Vitamin B9, folate, is famous for pregnancy. Low levels early on raise the risk of neural tube defects, which is exactly why folic acid fortification of flour became mandatory in many countries in the 1990s, a change credited with meaningfully lowering birth defect rates within just a few years. In adults, it builds red blood cells and repairs DNA. Deficiency means anemia, fatigue, and DNA damage outpacing repair, which speeds up cellular aging. Vitamin B12 is the only vitamin built around a metal, cobalt, and no plant or animal can make it. Only bacteria and archaea can. Eating meat means eating an animal that hosted the bacteria that made it. Here's the strange part. Your own gut bacteria do make B12, mostly in your large intestine, but your body can only absorb it further up, in the small intestine, through a process that requires a protein made in your stomach called intrinsic factor. You manufacture a vitamin in a place you can't reach it from, then lose it. Cows solve this with a fermentation chamber ahead of their stomach. Rabbits solve it by eating their own droppings. Humans have neither option. Deficiency can take years to show up because your liver stores a multi-year reserve, but it eventually causes anemia, tingling, memory loss, and higher dementia risk. On a strict vegan or vegetarian diet, supplementing isn't optional since there's no reliable plant source of it at all. Vitamin C. Most mammals make their own supply internally. A goat produces grams a day, especially under physical stress when internal production ramps up. Humans can't make any at all. We carry a broken gene for it, a burnt-out fragment on chromosome 8, dead for around 60 million years, likely because our ancestors were already eating enough vitamin C-rich fruit that losing the ability cost nothing at the time. Bats and guinea pigs lost the same ability independently. Before ascorbic acid was identified, the defining feature of scurvy sounded like fiction, old wounds reopening, because collagen needs constant renewal, and without vitamin C, that renewal stops one of the more unsettling documented symptoms in naval medical records from the age of sail. Naval surgeon James Lind ran one of history's first controlled clinical trials in 1747, splitting scurvy-afflicted sailors into groups given different remedies, and found citrus worked dramatically better than anything else tested, decades before anyone knew why. Citrus, kiwi, peppers, and broccoli make this an easy one to avoid today. Vitamin D is technically a hormone your skin makes it when sunlight hits it, and from there it regulates calcium, strengthens bone, and modulates your immune system. It's probably the most common deficiency on the planet, especially in places with limited sunlight or among people who spend most of their day indoors. Here's the detail that surprises people. You cannot overdose on vitamin D from sunlight because the same UV light that produces it also destroys the excess once you have enough. A supplement pill has no such break, which is why pills can cause toxicity while sun exposure practically can't. Vitamin E lives in your cell membranes and gets destroyed first, so the membrane doesn't have to be. Vitamin C regenerates it afterward, a relay, not a lone hero, part of a whole coordinated antioxidant network working in sequence. And just like B6, more turned out to be worse. A large trial called SELECT tested whether 400 IU of daily vitamin E would lower prostate cancer risk based on smaller, earlier studies that looked promising. Men taking it had 17% more cancer than the placebo group. A trial built to prove supplementation helps ended up proving megadosing backfires, and it remains one of the most cited cautionary examples in nutrition research for exactly that reason. The vitamin's name comes from the Greek for to bring forth offspring, discovered as a fertility factor in rats and spent decades as a vitamin in search of a disease, because nobody could pin down its main function in humans. Its main function turned out to be, essentially, to be sacrificed quietly thousands of times a day. Vitamin K is what makes your blood clot. That's exactly why newborns get a vitamin K injection at birth. Their gut bacteria haven't colonized enough yet to produce it themselves, and breast milk alone doesn't supply much. K1 comes from leafy greens, K2 from fermented foods, and grass-fed animal fat. And it also steers calcium into bones and away from arteries, which is why a K2 shortage may quietly contribute to calcium ending up in the wrong places over time. The best vitamin K story starts in the 1920s, when cattle across Canada and the US began dying from internal bleeding after eating spoiled sweet clover hay. A desperate farmer drove 200 miles through a blizzard to deliver a milk can of blood that wouldn't clot to biochemist Carl Link, who isolated the compound responsible, then synthesized a stronger version he named warfarin. Warfarin blocks the enzyme that recycles vitamin K, so clotting shuts down the world's most widely used rat poison. And the final twist. Warfarin's safety in humans was partly confirmed in 1951, after a man who tried to poison himself with rat poison was saved with high-dose vitamin K. The antidote to the poison is the very vitamin the poison blocks, and within a few years, doctors were prescribing controlled doses of the same compound to prevent dangerous blood clots in cardiac patients. Now the part that ties everything back to vitamin A. Its stored form, retinol, can also kill you. Polar bear liver carries so much stored vitamin A that toxicity has been documented from just a few grams. Arctic communities learn to discard the liver while eating everything else, passing that piece of survival knowledge down for generations. The most famous case involves explorer Xavier Mertz, stranded in Antarctica with Douglas Mawson in 1912 after a third expedition member fell into a crevasse, along with most of their food. The two survivors ate their remaining sled dogs, including the livers, since nothing could be wasted. Mertz died under conditions doctors still debate. One hypothesis points to vitamin A toxicity, another to severe starvation and extreme cold. The debate remains open, but sled dog liver is documented to carry extraordinary stored vitamin A, and the skin peeling and neurological decline Mertz displayed are consistent with that diagnosis. So here's the recap. Vitamin D has a built-in overdose brake that pills don't. Your gut makes B12 in a place your body can't reach. Niacin saved millions of lives, but only once someone figured out how to cook corn correctly. Vitamin A bends a molecule so you can see, and its stored form can be lethal. Biotin from your nail supplement can make a heart attack invisible on a blood test. B6 and vitamin E both prove that more isn't automatically better. And warfarin, the world's most common rat poison, is essentially vitamin K with the brakes cut. You started this thinking vitamins were simple. They're not. Everyone carries a mechanism, a paradox, or a piece of history that changes how you'll think about your next multivitamin. If one of these caught you off guard, drop it in the comments.